Hello, this is JM83, and this is another new video on my Gasly career mode, Pierre Gasly with Toro Rosso, and this time it is Italy, the Italian Grand Prix around Monza. So let's get straight into the practice sessions and the track acclimatization test. And it looks like a almost fully purple lap with just one green score, so that'll easily give the purple score for practice. So that's nice. And then we'll get into qualifying pace test, and I'm right behind Kevin Magnussen, who's also on a quick run, so he's not going to get out of my way. But he's given me a load of slipstream, which has given me about a tenth and a half so far on the Delta. But then I lose pretty much all of that, trying to overtake him into Parabolica. So it's 6.5 dozen other between us two. But it should give enough for the green score at least, maybe not the purple score. But yeah, the 30 resource points for that. And we got the primary target, and now this is the first qualifying run. And 7th place because we haven't set a time. Not many people have set time so far. We've had no slipstream on this lap, unfortunately, because that can be really important around Italy. But it puts me in 3rd place for the time being, but only it's behind the Williams and Bottas and only ahead of Pascal Wehrlein, so that's not as good as the lap it seems. And now I'm down to 9th place, just ahead of Carlos Sainz, and coming through Ascari on a second run, we're getting slipstream from Romain Grosjean, which is a nice to get because slipstream is mental in this game. So coming through Parabolica, we're about half a second up on the first lap I did. Still getting the slipstream off the Haas car ahead, down to 10th place currently, but where is this lap going to put me? Verstappen's on pole provisionally, puts me up to 6th place on the grid, which is where I'm actually going to finish, so not too bad. We're on ultimate difficulty still, so 6th place is like the best I can hope for. So the grid, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Nico Hülkenberg, we're getting a very strong turn in 3rd place, ahead of Hamilton and Vettel. The slower cars at the back, as you'd expect. Sainz is 12th, let's get into the race.
Overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Raikkonen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today.
So race strategy then, it's like a bit of a stretch to get to 2 stops. I'm about to switch to 3 if necessary. But underfuel the car quite a bit, super soft start and mediums and softs to the end. Here we go, 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix, 6th on the grid. Lights out and away we go, and it is a very good start compared to Vettel alongside straight away. Hulkenberg gets a good start, he's challenging the Red Bulls for the lead already. Hamilton also gets a good start, it's 4 wide up ahead of me. I'm just going to watch the fireworks go off, because this is very dangerous, 4 wide into turn 1. I hit Hulkenberg, lose a bit of the front wing, but then there's 3 wide still, and they all crash, and that's all the top 4 are out in the gravel. And Vettel has taken the lead, I'm up to 2nd, but then driving to the gravel because of all the melee. And that is the top 4 have all had their races like really badly compromised, and the safety car has come out already. But let's have a look at a replay of what just happened, because I'm not sure myself. So lights out, the 2 Red Bulls of Verstappen and Ricciardo bogged down a bit. Hulkenberg and Hamilton immediately look to take advantage. It's 4 wide down to turn 1, which is never a great plan. I'm just behind him in 5th, just trying to avoid everything. Hit the back of Hulkenberg. Then Verstappen gets caught on the curb, completely wipes out the top 4, and Vettel drives off in front of the Tifosi and takes the lead. So here it is from Max Verstappen's car, and lights out, he doesn't get away very well at all. You can see Hulkenberg in the mirror already looking to go past. Ricciardo and Hamilton and Hulkenberg are all alongside him, so he's down to 4th at this point, but absolutely lunges it down the outside, goes wide and onto the curb and tries to hold the position, which I'd say that's Verstappen's fault, that collision, because he shouldn't have tried to lunge it, and there's just a massive car park behind, and no idea how they got through that very quickly. But yeah, I'd say that's Max Verstappen's fault for trying to hold the lead even though it's 4th place, and he just lunged it around the outside and was never going to make the corner, so I'd pin that on Verstappen. But here's the view from Valtteri Bottas. He gets a decent start, but then takes it cautiously, and then the whole grid pretty much gets caught up in this melee of the 4 cars in the gravel trying to get back on. But now the safety car's coming in on lap 4. I'm in 2nd place, just behind Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari. Rosberg just behind, so not being in the top 4 actually paid off a lot on the grid. But now the safety car has come in, we're back to racing, and the slipstream in this game should make it a pretty simple task to try and get straight past Sebastian Vettel, because we look at the overspeed we get, just drive past him, rich mix, slipstream, and straight back into the lead. So we take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix on lap 5, and the AI and myself will be pitting quite soon. I think lap 6 and 7 we should be pitting. So back into the lead of the race, ahead of Vettel and Rosberg, so it's going to be difficult to keep behind with the slipstream. And now onto the same lap, later on in the lap, down towards Ascari, Vettel's right behind. He's not going to go for a lunge, it doesn't look like. No, he doesn't. But then coming through Ascari, can we get a good run, good exit down to Parabolica? It doesn't look like it. We run the curve quite a lot, go wide, and now Vettel is going to come out of nowhere, and he's going to slipstream me, overtake me by the looks of things. It was side by side into Parabolica. This is going to be very, very close. I have the outside line, try and go wide, get a good exit, and maybe even overtake Vettel again down the pit straight. There's no DRS yet, it's the safety car's only just coming, but Vettel peels off into the pits, so he's going to get the undercut. So I need to set an absolutely banging lap right now to try and hold the position of the lead straight from him. So 2 laps later, we've tried to go as fast as we can on the super soft tyres. They're very, very worn now, so Vettel probably will have undercut me. So peel off into the pits. Sainz is second on his soft tyres at the moment, and Button is third on his mediums, so Sainz is going to take the lead. Button's probably going to take second. I don't know where I'm going to feed back out, but Vettel and Rosberg and co will probably be very close, if not ahead of me. So as you can see, the order on the top left is pretty mixed up because people running the harder set of tyres rather than the super softs from the grid all haven't pitted yet. So I'm not sure where Vettel is actually, because it looks like we can come out just ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Nasr. Ericsson would rather go forward. Rosberg and Perez are right behind, and Rosberg gets hemmed in by myself coming out of the pits, and Perez actually takes a position of 11th place from Nico Rosberg for the time being, although Rosberg then sees him out, and they're side by side through turn 2. And it's looking like a very nip-and-tuck battle between the Mexican and the German. And we come out in 10th place. Only Hamilton undercut me, so I'm not sure what happened to Vettel, but he's not here anymore. And Rosberg is now lap 8. He's going to look to overtake me down towards Ascari with the DRS open. And he is on super soft tyres, so it's expected that he's much faster at this point, and he easily takes that position. Gets a bit of a bad run, so maybe I could have a good exit and maybe slipstream him, but it just doesn't look likely. Now Carlos Sainz is in the pit lane, and now Perez is going to try and overtake me as well, so this outlap hasn't been very good so far, as I've lost. It looks like I'm going to lose 2 positions just in the first lap on these new set of tyres. Perez is down the inside, but then I managed to hold the overspeed round the outside. Ericsson is holding up Rosberg a treat, and I've got a very good exit compared to the pair of them. And so Rosberg goes to the inside. I'm going to go for the outside line. It's going to be 3 wide, and then Carlos Sainz coming out of the pit lane, and Rosberg completely hits Carlos Sainz, my teammate, and loses his front wing. Sainz gets no damage somehow, but I take 3 positions down the pit straight, Rosberg, Ericsson and Sainz, and that's me up ahead of all of them. And now a few laps later, more people have pitted, and I'm up to 4th place. Sainz is behind. Rosberg lost his front wing, so is now pretty much out of it. I get a bad exit out of Ascari. Sainz has got a lot of slipstream, and he's got a soft set of tyres rather than my medium set, and he's going to go to the outside of Parabolica. This is going to be very close between the teammates, the former teammates from Formula Renault 3.5, so there's been not too much rivalry this season because we've been quite far apart. But me and Sainz are now going to go racing for the pretty much the first time in the season, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. More people are in the pit lane, so now this is a battle for 3rd place. We're side by side down the pit straight. I have a bit more speed because of the rich mix, I think, and then brake late, force him wide, and then that is 3rd place regained for the time being. But he will have the slipstream of the DRS on this very same lap. It's lap 13 still, and Carlos Sainz is right behind me with the DRS. Is going to go open now, and he's going to have the overspeed. He's going to have the position before Ascari by the looks of things, and I'm going to not go side by side for Ascari because it will just cost us both loads of time if we try to go side by side there. So we need to try and work together. It looks like a good result could be on the cards. He's in 2nd place in a minute. We're 2nd and 3rd currently, so a good result could be on for the Toro Rosso team if we play our cards right, and that means not battling too hard. But I get a lot of slipstream down towards Parabolica. Don't go for a dive bomb because that'd just be foolish, as I've just said. But we should have DRS down the pit straight, and that should mean I easily take the position back. Button is in the pits for his first stop of the race, so we're going to go back into the lead. So Sainz is in the lead, but now I'm in the lead because I just DRS straight past him, take the position back. But this is actually quite helping our race if we don't hold each other up in the braking zones too much, because basically we can just drag each other further away from the crowd because we'll have DRS and slipstream, so it'll allow us to go faster down the straight. So here comes Sainz once again on the very same lap 14, and he's going to go around the outside. I want to back out of it because going alongside an Ascari is never a good idea. So I back out of it, let Sainz take the position, but then just stay behind him, wait for the DRS on the pit straight, and that should give me the boost I need to take back the lead, because it looks like a win or even just a podium could be on the cards for one of us here, as we're actually a net race lead at the minute. Ricciardo's in 3rd, but it looks like a good result could be on the cards. I'd like to win, seeing as I've been the far better driver for Toro Rosso this season, so it's only fair really that I maybe grab the win. But now DRS down the pit straight onto lap 15, easily take the position back. DRS is just ridiculous on this game, and especially around this track, and that is the lead regained for the time being. But then Sainz will probably be able to DRS me back. And yeah, on the very same lap, around towards Ascari once again, Sainz is going to try and overtake me and go to the inside this time. I want to back out, but unfortunately we're side by side, and that's going to cost us a lot of time. I go wide, Sainz goes leaves the space, and that costs us loads of time through Ascari. Ricciardo's going to probably close in, so this is not what we want. We want to go clean racing and no holding each other up, because we are teammates, of course, and we just want to boost each other up and gain loads of time over the AI, which is probably the best thing to do. But through Parabolica, it looks like I'm going to get a good run once again, get the DRS on Sainz down towards the first corner, and that would be the best thing to do. Ricciardo's not too far behind now. He's only about 1.3 seconds, I should say, rather than 3. That's how much time we lost. But as I'm saying this, I overtake Sainz once again, and this is for about the third or fourth lap in a row. Me and Sainz are just trading positions for the lead. So this race got a bit repetitive with the amount of times me and Sainz were just battling. But here he comes once again, lap 16. I'm going to go side by side through Ascari, but I let him take the position that time. He actually gains quite a good lot of time on me because he gets a very good exit. I'm going to try and get in rich mix, get in the slipstream, drag me towards him. But Ricciardo's about the same distance behind as I am him. But here's Rosberg on the same lap at the same time, and he's actually got a massive engine blowout, and he's going to try and pull off to the side, but then crashes into the wall and rips off a wheel. And that is a very, very poor weekend in total for Rosberg. After losing his front wing earlier, he's now had an engine failure, and he's out of this race, so that will cost him a lot of time to Lewis Hamilton. Sainz is going to peel into the pits. I take the lead. Now the safety cars come out, and that was the worst time possible, because I actually didn't cross the line before the safety car came out, which meant I had a delta. I had crossed the line, sorry. I had a delta to stick to, and no one else did. So Sainz and Button have gained a free pit stop over me, and I'm coming into the pits now, and this will that sort of lost me a load of time to Carlos Sainz, because he's still in second place, and I'm now going to drop down the order quite a lot because I had a delta to stick to, and no one else on the grid did. So that safety car for the Rosberg corners caused has mugged me off a little bit, because I've lost a pit stop basically over Carlos Sainz. I'm now down in 9th place. So I've lost all that track position, even though me and Sainz were side by side pretty much all the time. But now safety car's coming in on lap 19. We've got a short burst at the end. I'm going to the end on these tyres. I'm not sure what the AI are doing, because they're all on super soft tyres, which is a strange strategy decision, to say the least. But now Hamilton is going to hopefully be an easy target if I get the slipstream, but he's got the slipstream Hulkenberg ahead actually, so maybe not. But Jenson Button is currently in the lead, and his McLaren Honda, which that probably won't last too long with his Honda engine. But I get loads of slipstream, rich mix, go straight up the inside of Hamilton, brake about the same time as him, so going to be side by side into chicane. He holds it around the outside, but I'm going to turn in, and Hamilton kept his nose in there and ended up doing a half spin, which I'm not sure was my fault, because Hamilton shouldn't really have been there, seeing as I had the corner. So yeah, he got what he deserved there. But now a few people are pitted, so I'm 6th place just behind Nico Hulkenberg. It is after his first corner, but then Button's locked up. I was going to say, after Hulkenberg's strong showing qualifying, and then his first corner put him out there running for the time being, he's going to now take back 4th place when he peels into the pits, along with Alonso and Carlos Sainz. So I'm going to take the lead as I overtake Jenson Button. So this is a very strange turn of events, as the AI all just do a random strategy decision, which means I'm going to have a pit stop over everyone as Jenson Button peels into the pits behind me. So that has given me a massive lead. Now onto the very last lap, it looks like I'm going to be able to take the victory unless something mental happens and I lose the win. The tyre's quite worn at this point, but I have about a 15-second lead over Sebastian Vettel, and that looks like it's going to be enough to take the first ever win for Toro Rosso team since Sebastian Vettel did it at this track actually in 2008. So it's looking like Pierre Gasly is going to come around the final corner. The tyre's actually blown out, and that could maybe even put everything into jeopardy, but the lead is very, very large, so it doesn't look like it. And Pierre Gasly comes across the line, and he's going to win the Italian Grand Prix, his first win in Formula 1.
Yes! Come on, guys! Thank you so much. The car was perfect today. Thank you.
So results then, it's the first ever win for Pierre Gasly, the Frenchman, the first French victory since the 1994 Monaco Grand Prix, and that is a very, very long time. But Ricciardo comes second, Button gets a strong showing in fifth, Sainz was sixth actually. The only retirement is Nico Rosberg, and that will be very damaging to his championship aspirations. But Kevin Magnussen just missing out on points in 11th, and in the Drivers' Championship I'm now up into 4th place ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So even though I've changed to ultimate difficulty, I'm still getting second and first so far. But that was a pretty lucky victory after AI messed up their strategy a lot. So up into 4th place. Jensen Button overtakes Massa and Perez up into 10th place for him. So that's a good showing. And the only drivers not to score yet are Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasr, both for the Sauber team, so that'll be disappointing for them. But Hamilton has a massive lead. Constructors and in Mercedes looks like they're running away with it. We're not too far away from Ferrari now. We've got a massive lead on Williams. And yeah, that is a very, very strong showing. Ricciardo also overtakes Rosberg for second after Rosberg's retirement. Now getting the resource points for this race, and it looks like it's going to take us up to 800-ish, yeah, 815. Verstappen beats me in the rivalry thanks to his fastest lap, but that amount of points should give me just enough points to get a new upgrade for the car, which I'm going to go for downforce, since the next two races are Singapore and Malaysia, so high downforce circuits. But that's going to be the end of this video. Please leave a like if you liked it, and leave a like. If you smash the like button for that race victory for Pierre Gasly in the Toro Rosso at Italy. And this has been J083, and I will see you next time.